for today's recipe, I've taken 1 tablespoon of oil in my pan or vessel. Now I've cut the pumpkin into these small cubes. After peeling it, I'll explain to you how I prepped the pumpkin. Now once our oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohuri or rye. Once the mustard seeds start to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Then immediately I'm going to add half a teaspoon of hinga or asafoetida, followed by half a teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds or methi seeds. This really adds a lovely flavor to this recipe. And then I'm going to add the pumpkin. Now this is about a quarter kilo of pumpkin. Mix everything really well together. Now I'll explain to you as to how I prepared the pumpkin. So first I washed the pumpkin really well. Then I peeled the peel off the pumpkin, which is a hard cover. So use a nice peeler or a knife. Then I've retained the seeds. What I do is I just wash the seeds well and then dry them up in the sun and just roast them a little bit with on a little bit of ghee and eat them. They're very delicious. And then I just cubed the pumpkin into these small cubes. So first of all, when you're buying the pumpkin, ensure that it's lovely and nice and fresh and orange in color. There's lots of seeds on it, and even though it should look fresh. Don't buy a very stale or like a whitish pumpkin. It should be more in red or orange in color. So now we're going to cover this with a lid, and I'm going to add water onto the lid. So this water will help to cook the pumpkin. Now we're going to keep the water on a low to medium flame like this till it starts to bubble. So you will see this bubbles. The minute you see the bubbles, then you lift the lid a bit with a pair of tongs like this. And then half of this hot water, you pour it into the pumpkin. This will cook the pumpkin nicely. The tongs are also called sanshi. So with the help of the sanshi, just put the water in. Keep half of the water on the lid. And then we're going to cover, and every 2 or 3 minutes just lift the lid up very carefully and stir in between. Now after 10 minutes you'll find that on a very low flame that the water has completely evaporated. Like you can see, there's no water on the lid at all. So now our pumpkin is nice and cooked. So now to check it, I'm just going to take a spoon and I'm just going to check the pumpkin. You should be able to cut through it very, very easily. So just take one piece of the pumpkin. See, it comes off very easy. I think the pumpkin is cooked. So now we can nicely flavor our pumpkin bhaji or bhopla bhaji. So first, of course, I'm going to add salt to taste. Mix it really, really well. This is one of my favorite vegetables. It's just so delicious and it's so healthy too. Now I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of red chili powder, or you can add as per taste, as to how spicy you would like it. Then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of my homemade goda masala. I will leave a link to my recipe. It's very simple. You can prepare your goda masala at home itself with no preservatives or anything, and it tastes really lovely. So I'll leave a link to my goda masala. You can make it at home and add it to lots of vegetables and lots of usals. I will leave a link to all those recipes. Now I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of gur or jaggery. So this is also as per taste. You can make it as sweet as you like, or less sweet. I mean, we like it a mixture of sweet, spicy. So I'm using the regular white gur that we use. Now mix everything really well together. Now I like a little bit of a gravy to this, but if you want it completely dry, then you can just start cooking this on a little bit of a high flame till all the liquid evaporates. But a little bit of gravy really tastes very, very nice. I like to have this with some puri. And now I'm just going to add some fresh grated coconut, and I'm just going to stir everything and just cook it for about a minute or two, and that's it, friends. And like I said, I like to have this with puri or even with some dal and rice or amti bhaat. It tastes amazing. And that's it, friends. Our simple pumpkin bhaji is all ready to give it a try.
Hi friends, this is Akshata here with yet another delicious and quick recipe. Today I'll be showing you how to make kanda peat peru. For that we require, I've taken about 4 medium-sized onions and cut them finely. I've taken about 1.5 cup of chickpea flour or besan. Then we require some mustard seeds or rye or mori, about 1 teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hing, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder and some salt to taste. So let's start preparing our kanda peat peru. Now here in my pan I have some oil heating up, about 2 tablespoons of oil. First we'll go in my mori or rye or mustard seeds. Once they begin to splutter, we will add in our 1 teaspoon of jeera or cumin, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hing, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, and then we'll go my onions or kanda. We will now mix everything well together. This is a very quick and easy dish. So once everything is mixed well, we will now cover it and cook it till our onions are on the softer side. Now we will check on our onions, and you can see that they have become a little on the softer side. So to this we will now add some red chili powder. I'm adding about 1 teaspoon. If you wanted more spicy, you can add it more of it, otherwise less. And salt to taste. Again, we'll give all of this a very good mix. Again, cover this and cook it for about another minute. Now we will check on our onions. They have become nice and soft, and all the masala has nicely mixed up with the onions. Now it's time to add this besan or chickpea flour. Just spread it evenly on all of the onion. And we are going to mix this together well. Everything has to get nicely incorporated. Now at this point, just take a little bit of water and you can just sprinkle the water on this vegetable dish. This will help to cook the chickpea flour a bit. So again, give it a mix. And again, cover this and cook for another whole minute. At this point, keep checking that everything has come well together. There's nothing stuck at the bottom of the pan or the sides. Bring everything well together. And now you can see that everything is very well cooked. This takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the entire dish to get ready. And now all it requires is some nice fresh coriander for garnish. This is a very tasty recipe to be eaten with puri or chapati. And here it is, friends, some yummy kanda peet perun or onion with some lovely chickpea flour. Please do try out this recipe and do let me know how you liked it in the comments box below. Please subscribe to my channel, and this is Akshata saying bye until another video. Take care.
friends, let's start with today's recipe. Now here I've taken about 1.5 cup of moong, and I've just washed it thrice under running water and soaked it for about 6 to 7 hours or overnight. Now we'll go through the other ingredients. So this is the dal. I've drained out all the water. This is one light green chili cut finely, some coriander, some curry leaves, some cumin, some turmeric powder, some asafoetida or hing, and some mustard seeds, and a lime. All the ingredients with the exact measurements will be given in the description box below. So here I've just heated about 1.5 tablespoon of oil. To the oil, I'm going to add my mustard seeds and wait till they pop. Once they pop, I'm going to add my green chilies and fry the green chilies well. Then I'm going to add a little bit of hing or asafoetida. Then go in my curry leaves. Let the curry leaves also fry a bit. Then I'm going to add my turmeric powder or haldi powder. Then I'm going to add my jeera or my cumin seeds. And then I'm going to add this soaked moong dal. That's it, friends. That's all you require. Of course, a little bit of salt, and that's it. So now we're just going to give this all a nice mix so it gets well incorporated with the rest of the bagar or the fodni. Now this recipe was shared by my very close friend Pavitra Sargaonkar, and this is my daughter Ira's favorite. She loves to eat this. It's so easy to prepare, it gets ready quickly, and it's really very delicious. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. I'm going to add a pinch of sugar. Now we're going to mix everything very well. See that you fry everything nicely so that everything gets nicely mixed up together. And now we're just going to add a little bit of water, because we want to cook the dal a bit. So just enough water to cover up the dal. So if you're taking 1.5 cup of moong dal, then about 2 cups of water should suffice. And now let this cook on a low to medium flame. And we're going to let all the water evaporate. So first let it come to a boil. And then we're just going to cover and cook it and stirring in between just to check. And we want all the water to evaporate. That's when our moong dal bhaji is all ready to eat. Now I also have a recipe for moong dal bhaji. I will leave a link below. And that's it, friends. Our water has all evaporated. Our vegetable is ready. And we just have to add a squeeze of lime and some fresh coriander. So add in the coriander, mix it in well, then turn off your gas and add your lemon juice. This goes very well with some nice hot chapatis or puris. So that's it, and now I'm going to add my lemon juice. Now one tip over here, if you're squeezing the lemon directly, always squeeze the lemon juice into a spoon. That way if there are any lemon seeds or lemon pips, you can pick them out and you don't have to search for them in the vegetable. And then just mix and your dish is all ready to serve. Now here I've taken a kadhi or a pan and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Now this recipe does require a little extra oil than we generally use. Now once our oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, which is also called mohuri or rye. Once they begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of hinga or asafoetida. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek or methi seeds. Now these fenugreek seeds or methi seeds really enhance the flavor of this dish. Now after this I'm going to add about 7 to 8 curry leaves that I've chopped up really fine, and 2 light green chilies which I've just slit in the center. Now I've taken about 5 small green tomatoes and chopped them up into small cubes. I've also soaked 1 cup of yellow moong dal for about 30 minutes in some water, drained out the water and added the moong dal. Now we're going to mix everything really well together. Now the reason we added extra oil is that this recipe, you can keep it for up to a week in your refrigerator. Once it's cooked really well, it has a long shelf life, but up to 1 week in a refrigerator, it can last. So that's the reason the oil is a little bit more. Now I'm just going to go with adding some salt to taste. You can always add less initially, and then as the recipe gets, the dish gets ready and you taste it and you find that the salt is less, you can always add more. Never add a lot of salt initially, because if your dish becomes salty, it's just not going to taste good. So always add less salt initially, and as your dish gets ready, you can always do a taste test, and if you find that you want more salt, you can always add some more salt. So now we're going to mix everything really well. We also want this yellow moong dal to fry in this oil a bit. And then we're just going to cover and cook it for about 5 minutes. Now after 5 minutes, I'm just going to add about half a cup of water, because this is going to help the tomatoes cook, and we really want the tomatoes to cook well. Now I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of jaggery or gur, and we're going to mix all of this really well together. Now we want this jaggery or this gur to really dissolve in this bhaji. And the reason we're adding so much of gur or jaggery, remember, tomatoes are sour and green tomatoes are always even more sour or sourer. So now our dish is ready, and I'm just going to garnish it with some coriander and some coconut, freshly grated coconut, and that's it, and our dish is ready. Just cover and keep it till you're ready to serve. And I'm so sorry that I didn't do a great presentation, but we were all so hungry. If you enjoyed today's recipe, I hope you're going to give it a try. Do let me know in the comment section below what you thought of today's recipe. Also don't forget to hit the like button. I need those likes. Just click the thumbs up icon that you see below this video. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the red subscribe button that you see somewhere below the screen. Once you have subscribed, a little bell icon will pop up. Click that bell. That way, whenever I put up a new video, you will get a message for the same. Also, when I'm online, you can chat with me. You'll get a message that Akshata is online doing a live stream, so you can be a part of the live stream too. So friends, thank you so much for visiting my channel today. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will catch you in my next video sooner than you think. So I'll sign off, but before signing off, let me tell you my message as usual, which is stay healthy, stay fit, be loving and kind to one another. So till we meet again, this is Akshata signing off. Bye.